Okay guys, welcome along to round 9 of FTRL. We're here in Division 2. We are in Singapore for what looks like a dry qualifying, but I can see some rain coming down, so it could be a sign of things to come for the race. Joining me in the booth tonight, as always, I have Dale. Welcome along, mate.
Welcome, I am here, alive, slight scare just now, but we're here. So,
Yeah.
Good evening everyone.
Yeah, it should be a good one, mate. Only 16 people in this evening. We've got a few guys missing, unfortunately, as we see JB lag out of the session, unfortunately, which is not good to see. But yeah, we've got a first appearance in FTRL for Bendel, who's coming as a reserve tonight. So hopefully we'll see more of him in the coming weeks. I've been trying to get Bendel on the case for a very long time, so nice to see he's finally given in. But I'm sure he'll have a good run this evening, which will be good to see. 16 guys, as we mentioned, around this long windy street circuit in Marina Bay in Singapore. How would you approach this race, Dale?
Well, first, I'd get out there as quick as possible with the rain coming down qualifying. And I'd actually got insight from one of the drivers that it might possibly be a wet race. So I'd play it safe and chuck my wet setup on, and then take the fall in the qualifying, but be dominant in the race.
Exactly, should be an interesting one. I know a lot of the guys have been practicing. In terms of pole position, who are you tipping it for tonight?
Well, my usual choice is not going to be tonight because he is starting from the back, our reigning champion. But I've got a feeling after the pace Connor had, or podium, you know, whichever one you want to call him. After the pace he had on our practice the other night, I'm tipping him for it. But I do think it'll be close.
Well, in my eyes, it's going to be close between about 3 or 4 people. Just some inside information. We didn't know this because of it seemed very unlikely last week because of how results were going, should I say. But we can confirm that Scuba is the Division 2 champion, so a massive congratulations to him. It's pretty much on the cards. I think he missed one race all season, but then the lowest that he did finish when he did race was second. So with 5 race wins and 2 second places and 1 where he was absent, unfortunately. I mean, it's a pretty incredible record, so congratulations to him. So yeah, Scuba has informed us he's going to be starting from the back, so I'll be quite keen to see how he gets on. In my opinion, well, onto the podium just gone quickest by just over a second. So he's, I know he's been practicing, so he's going to be keen to prove a point this evening. Now, my outside tip for pole is going to be Shea. Now, I say this because Shea had a phenomenal race last week in Italy. And also I've witnessed him win in Singapore before, so I know it's a track he can be strong at, providing that he has a clean race and doesn't do anything silly like he's just done there. Cheers, Shay, perfectly on cue, mate.
Oh, had he binned it?
Yeah, he slightly binned it, yeah, but I mean he didn't retire, so I think the conditions are getting quite tricky. I can't imagine. I think Bendel's just invalidated his lap, unfortunately. I can't imagine that the lap times will get any quicker than this, as that rain is starting to come down even more heavy as we speak. But as it currently stands, go on.
I was going to say, it's coming down heavy. That second gap, well, it's over a second actually, but Connor has on Matt in second. That isn't going to be touched.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, we could see quite a jumbled up grid with all due respect this evening. Obviously, we've got Scuba starting at the back. JB is somebody I expect to challenge this evening at some stage. I think he's just starting a flying lap, so we will stay on board with him. He certainly has got a lot of pace. I think he might have just invalidated on the first corner there. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, he's pulled out of his lap, so he's waving about. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, at the moment we've got onto the podium in first by just over a second to Matt Cause, who has risen from the dead in P2, and we've got Chris Bean up in P3. Tez is up in 4th. Bocata's in 5th. So with all due respect, some of these guys, it's not where we'd probably expect to see them. So it could be we could be on course for quite an interesting one this evening. But yeah, I think Connor can relax now, to be honest.
Put your feet up, Connor. Go make a brew, and we'll see you in 5 minutes.
We're just on board with Smertens as he does a horrendous corner cut. That's got to be an invalidation. But yeah, these conditions are tough. The Division 2 boys haven't had much luck in terms of conditions recently.
And Che goes straight over the pits.
What's he done?
That awkward entry into the pits, just...
Oh,
there's no grip out there whatsoever.
Is Shea being Shea, is he?
Oh, Shea's definitely being Shea.
Okay, so we're hearing, from an inside source, it's going to be a dry start to the race, but then enters conditions towards the end. So we could see quite a lot of retirements tonight, so we could be commentating just on people driving around on their own at some point, Dale, which we're going to be in for a long evening.
Well, if that's the case, I'm definitely cracking open a beer.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we have got 16 people currently watching the stream, so welcome along everybody. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to comment in the stream and we shall read them out and have a little chat, especially if the race gets pretty bland at some stages. I've got a couple of guys in here I've not seen here before. One of them saying Clarkey to win, clear favourite, and the other one saying can't wait to see Clarkey crash out for a third week in a row. So mixed emotions. I believe they're probably some of his mates, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But cheers for joining us, lads. Hope you enjoy yourself. But yeah, nobody's out on track at the moment. Oh, sorry, no, JB is. So we'll go to JB.
JB's currently in the pits, according to me.
No, he's definitely out on track.
No, he's in pits for me.
I'm just on board with him now. He's locked up a little bit. He's on the supers. Onto the podium's retired, so he's feeling confident.
He's feeling very confident about that.
Yeah, JB on these supers. Yeah, he's drifting all over the place. I think Connor's nailed on for a pole position here, but with a very rampant and pretty erratic Matt Cause behind him, we shall have to wait and see what happens into turn one. Oh, JB's all over the place here. I don't think he's going to even touch probably Bendel's time down in 12th. These conditions don't look favourable. Yeah, so it looks like onto the podium's bagged himself his first pole position in FTRL. So I don't want to speak too soon, but on the evidence of this, and DRS has just been disabled, so I imagine most guys are probably just going to retire now, and we will have to wait a couple of minutes without seeing any cars on track. But credit to JB, he's given it his all, trying to get a lap time on the board. Shea's retired down in 9th, so yeah, we really do have a mixed grid.
Shea has literally exiting the turn 1, 2, 3 complex. Oh, yeah, 1, 2 and 3. He's coming out of turn 3, he's just binned it straight in the wall.
Yeah, I think the
no grip
conditions are
whatsoever.
very difficult. JB's crossed the line for 155, so yeah, the soft tyres are proving a problem as JB is going to launch himself into a wall. There we go. Clark is in the pits yet to set a time. So yeah, we've got a couple of guys on an out lap. They're going on to the inters, so I mean maybe they're just doing this for a couple of laps of practice for what they're expecting in the race, because they're certainly not going to improve on their lap times. I believe a good lap time in the wet conditions, well, in full wet conditions, is about a 152, 153. So I don't think any of these guys are going to improve. But yeah, so with about a minute to go, just looking at that beautifully coloured Ferrari on those intermediate tyres of Smertens, starting sector 3. Difficult circuit, Singapore, would you agree?
Oh, I absolutely hate the circuit sometimes, but I'm not going to get into it. If you can hook up a lap, it's a very flowing track. If you can hook it up. If you can't hook it up, you've got no chance.
Exactly. Right, just to go on.
Go on.
I was just going to say, I was just going to change topic slightly. Whilst we've got about 30 seconds left of the session, in terms of the drivers' standings, it's all kind of heating up a little bit now. So We've got 4 drivers that are going to be promoted. Scuba is obviously already won. He's on 161 points at the top of the table. Obviously, there have been drivers move up to Division 1 over the course of the season due to some reshuffling, as it's our first season carrying 2 divisions. In second place is currently Pagani on 53 points. In third place is onto the podium on 45, so he's 8 points behind Pagani. And just 2 points behind Connor is Raikkonen, who is currently in P6. So he's going to look to profit on a good result this evening, with Pagani just behind him, so that should be a battle to keep our eyes on. Just outside of that was Jakey Boy, but Jakey Boy is now no longer a part of the league, so there is a vacant seat at Williams. Bully Boy is not here tonight, it's on 28 points. Ravers is not here tonight, it's on 26. Shay's on 27, sorry. Shay's on 26, just behind. And Smertens is on 22, just behind. So there's a lot of guys very, very close in the chasing pack to the promotion spots, and with somebody else leaving and people not showing up this evening, it's certainly going to boost their chances to push themselves up the table. So I think as long as people finish this evening, I think they will score points, to be perfectly honest.
Captain Breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell, that was a close one.
In full Murray Walker mode there. Well, Connor's getting very confident in the stream chat, saying, Aaron Sim, what happened last time I got a pole in Singapore? And by that, I mean I saw the fact that he completely bottled it and lost it on the sweeping right-hander on the first DRS straight. Well, obviously not the start-finish one. Anyway, qualifying has finished, so we'll give you a brief rundown of the starting grid. So we got onto the podium on Super Softs with a 141.9. Matt Cors in second, so brilliant qualifying from him, 142.9. On the second row, we've got Chris Bean and we've got Tezza. Brilliant efforts from those guys. On the third row, we've got Borkata, fairly new to FTRL, in fifth with Raikkonen alongside him. Then we've got Pagani and Rich T in 7th and 8th. Shayo and Smertens ran off the top 10. Then we've got Stefan Bendel, JB Clarkey, and we've got Tice, and starting from the back is our champion Scuba. So we'll see how quickly he can go through the field. Okay, so guys in the stream, do you want to let us know who's your pick for the podium this evening in order? It's going to be a tricky one to predict, but if you can do it. Matty Suddens is in. Welcome, mate. Nice to see you.
It's been a long time, Matt. It's been a long time.
It certainly has. Certainly has. I mean, there's loads of guys in the chat that are just slating Clarkey, so I think by the nature of this, we'll probably just rip into him for the evening. Clap those hands and rub them together.
This is gonna be good.
It certainly is. Right, 10 seconds until the race begins. If you want to keep an eye on the mid-pack, probably around Pagani and Shay, that kind of area.
I will do when it actually shows up.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. Okay, so we are 3, 4, 5 lights in Singapore.
Away we go!
And looks like it's a good start from onto the podium. Matt Cors has had a very good start. Also, is he going to take a look up the inside? No. Connor's had an excellent start. Matt Cors has held P2. Borkat has profited up into third place. Great start. Tez has had a fairly poor start by looks of things, but looks like a pretty clean start looking through the field. Oh, we've got carnage. Tez up. Tezza and Chris Bean have gone. Contact. No retirements, fortunately. They was going side by side around the sweeping turn 3.
Bit of barging going on between the two Ferraris and the Mercedes. And Panini, Raikkonen, Rich. This is. I've got Rich, Sheo, Steph, and Smertin all battling, and it's gonna go horribly wrong.
Well,
I just know it is.
Shay looks like he's got great pace again this evening, but he just needs to be patient. He doesn't want to push too hard.
A lightning exit out of that tight hairpin corner.
Yeah, he has. Rich T defending well.
Very good defending from Rich T.
Doesn't want to be contact here. Don't put it up the inside there, Shay.
Shay's going to go for a dunk.
They just need to be patient. The race is not won on the first lap, especially not in somewhere like Singapore.
It certainly will.
So what we will do, as we're going to stand board with Shay actually, as we're going around the final corner to end lap 1. No retirements, good to see. Onto the podium, got a 1.5 second gap to Matt Cors in second at the moment. Is that a good start? Borcatta's up a couple of places, Pagani's up to 4th already. So yeah, not much going on. So I'm going to go down and check on Chris Bean. Yeah, Chris Bean's into the pits, as well as Tezza. So I'm fortunate to see those guys, especially when they qualified so well. We will have to see what happens.
However, this opens up a very interesting strategy.
It certainly has.
Because if both boys are clever about it, they will fit the soft tyres.
Yeah.
They get harder tyres. And by the looks of it, Chris has. Tezza hasn't.
What's Tezza gone on? Oh, what's happened to Shay?
And is that Shay? Oh, Shay, what are you doing?
I don't think he's lost any of his wing. I've got to be honest.
I'll have a quick. No, he's good.
Doesn't look like it, but he's just pushing too hard. He doesn't need to do it. He just needs to calm down, compose himself, because there will be opportunity for points in this race.
If you can hear me, don't do a vessel. Okay? Or a Grosjean from that back here.
Okay, well, championship leader Scuba in a lap and a half of Singapore is up to P8, starting last on the grid. So Scuba is a man on a mission.
Absolutely.
If he can pull off a podium here, I will be seriously impressed.
I'll just give him even more challenges.
Exactly, we'll have to give
Pull
him...
the podium here, I'll make him wait 5 seconds next week.
Okay, we've got Borcatta and Matt Cors driving a good race so far, but Pagani looks very, very racy this evening. Onto the podium, flying off into the distance, 2.5 second lead. Scuba's got Bendel for company, he's had a good start up into P9. I'm gutted for Tezza and Chris. Oh, Steph's into the pits as well, so something's happened with Steph. Maybe there was a collision with Shay somewhere down the line. I'm not so sure. Shay's not pitted. He's closing right up to the back of Tice. Oh, Shay's lost some of his wing. Oh, Shay's forced Tice very wide there. He's lost some of his wing. Not too sure what's happened, but Scuba lurking.
He's just like a fucking... He's like a shark.
Let's maybe not swear.
Yeah, it's been one of those days. I don't normally do it.
Oh no, I know.
He's a bit like a shark. He's just hanging back.
So there's all right. There's been a change up the front. Sorry, Pagani's got past Borcatta.
Oh. Ooh. Be interesting to see what's happened there.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a bit of pace. Matt Cors is doing well tonight. I'm impressed. He's got 1.2 second gap to Pagani. But what Matt doesn't want to do is, if he loses his head, if Pagani gets very close to him, he doesn't want to do that because he's got a good opportunity to score some very good points here this evening. So Matt, if Pagani or anyone catches up to him, he just needs to stay composed.
Just let him through. Just don't even bother with it. Just let him through.
Now we've got Scuba lurking. Smerton's defending well though, and Bendel was keeping pace as well. So Scuba does look quicker, but Smertens is driving extremely well. Maybe it's the difference in tyres which is saving Smertens ever so slightly. I think he might have him here on DRS though. We're going to go on board with our championship winner. Always giving Smertens a bit of a kiss. Has he lost a part of his wing, Scuba? I'm not too sure. It doesn't. No, I don't think he has.
He has.
He has, yeah.
He has. That's going to affect his car a little bit, especially
yeah.
Shay was still up in the tech. Shay was up in the tech after that excursion of his.
Shay is an extremely quick driver, but he can just be a bit erratic sometimes. So.
We came up against. Well, we both came up against him really. He knows what he's doing. when he's in the when he's in that zone, he knows what he's doing. However, how do I put this nicely? We don't see this type of share a lot.
No.
Hopefully, Italy last week was not a one-off, because that was a race, and strongly advise that our viewers go back and watch that race.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got people in the stream chat saying that Scuba's got posters of Clarkey in his bedroom, which I know for a fact is true. Actually, I think he's actually got one on his ceiling as well, but we won't go into depth about that.
Oh no, we're that's a bit too. Remember, PG-13, okay?
I know.
PG-13.
PG-13. Sorry, lads. Right, Scuba is still attacking Smertens, but Smertens is doing a fantastic job here. Scuba's had a very good exit. He just hasn't got that straight line speed to get past Smertens, even with the DRS. Is he going to take a dive? Yes, he is. Nice, respectful driving from the two. Smertens is going to have the inside line. And he holds it. Scuba, nice and respectful. Now Bendel's looking to profit from it. Great little battle here. Good to see Borcata still on the back of Pagani. So Pagani's holding P3 by the skin of his teeth. And we've got Raikkonen closing up in the background as well. So we can see most of the guys here. But all it's doing is playing to the hands of onto the podium. 5-second gap basically at the top. After 5 laps, it's a second a lap quicker than the rest of the field. Tice picks up a penalty.
Not the first one though. There has been other drivers with penalties. But this is going to be good.
Certainly is.
There is quite a train starting to form behind Gani right now.
Yeah, I mean, I must say, since Borcata's had a poor exit, now he's run off wide. Raikkonen's going to have him into the first corner. Surely. I can't see Borcata nice and sensible. Lets him through, bides his time. Thing is, anybody in this little train of cars, even up behind Matt Crawls, any of them have got a shout with some good points here, so there's no point scrapping. Oh, Scuba, he is still on the back of Smertens, but what this has done now is allowed his teammate Shea to catch up to the back of Bendel. So Shea just needs to be patient, doesn't need to force the issue. Still got his front wing, Shea. Oh God, who's that? Tice has had a spin at the start of the lap. Unfortunately to see. And here he is, the man of the hour. Clarkey in P11. Just biding his time.
Clarkey.
Go on, Clarkey. Oh, we've got yellow in sector 2. Who is it?
Size just probably the wall. Half something gone.
Yeah, so Shea's got past Bendel. Shea just needs to be patient. I can't stress this enough.
Well, I can't him a wall.
Is he really?
He's binned it. He's in the wall. He's lost.
Oh, Borcata, what have you done? That's such a shame. He's driving so well. Well, he's going to have to pit. If I was him, if we're expecting rain towards the end of the race, I'd put supers on because they can last about 20 laps. But we're still going to. I'm impressed with Bendel. He's keeping pace. Onto the podium, fastest lap of the race of a 1:42.8. He's got 8.5 second gap to Matt Cause, so that gap is just increasing and increasing. But we're going to stay on board with Shea at the moment. These Mercedes drivers looking very racy this evening. Shea could have been on for a very good result had he not have had that little wobble earlier on. Smertens has got front wing damage, so Shea's going to make the move into turn 1. Absolutely. I think he's already got his nose ahead. Bendel will just Smertens will just tuck in behind him. There we go. Smertens really struggling now with that half a front wing. Needs to seriously think about what he's going to do here.
3-second time penalty.
Yeah, unfortunately for Shea, that's quite a common occurrence. But now we've got the two Mercedes drivers on the hunt in P6 and 7. But we're just going to check on the condition of Matt Cause's Pagani's. Pagani's got half a front wing. He's missing the front right. Right, what Matt Cause needs to do is, if Pagani or anyone threatens him, don't put up too much of a fight. He's run very wide there. Because what he's got to remember is there's a 5.5 second gap to Rich, who's in P5. So whatever happens, Pagani's just cut the corner there ever so slightly. Well, ever so slightly a lot.
I only did it a little bit.
But onto right, so Raikkonen's just got past Pagani. So Pagani's struggling with that missing half a front wing. So, and onto the podium, I don't want to say unfortunately, but unfortunately is winning the race by 10.5 seconds. But we have seen him bottle it around Singapore. Funnily enough, to the corner he's on now. Oh no, he's kept it this lap.
It's just such a shame I'm not in this race.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you would have ruined it for him. You've got history around here, haven't you?
I was trying so hard not to bring it up. But...
All right, we've got action. Chris Bean and Clarkey.
No.
Chris Bean all over the back of him with his multicoloured tyres that keep changing colour, and he's made easy work of Clarkey, unfortunately to see. I'm just trying to see whether Clarkey's on a wheel or not. I believe he is. I think he might have a wheel. So good on him, because it is it's a difficult thing to do. 20 people watching the stream at the moment, which is fantastic. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Matt Core still holding on to second. He's on a wheel, yeah. He's on a wheel, still terrible. You guys need to come. You guys need to come more often. Every Monday, 8 o'clock.
You guys are bringing a party tonight. You're bringing a party tonight.
Okay, right. Bendel is putting Shea under a lot of pressure, so I'm wondering whether Shea and Bendel's got half a front wing as well. So the two Toro Rosso drivers are missing alternate front plates of their wing. So I was just seeing Shea slightly lose the back end. I think his tyres might be reaching the end of their lifespan. I think the maximum you can take Ultras to is probably about lap 11 at most. But I think we're going to see Shea go in. Yes, we are. Hopefully he gets the pit stop right. Yes, he does. So Bendel moves up into P7. Scuba is up into P5, sorry. As Rich has come into the pits to fit on some super soft tyres. And what has Shea put on? Has Shea put on Ultras again? Shea's put on Ultra Softs again. It started to rain as well.
The rain is falling.
The rain is falling, so this could certainly throw a spanner into the works, but I think the super soft runners are going to be the ones that are going to profit from this at the moment, because I know Steph, Tice and Borcat are all on softs, but they've all had to make an early stop due to damage. Okay, right, I've just also noticed Matt Cors has dropped down to P4, but even so, still a very, very good amount of points for him at the moment, and he's got a 9-second gap to Scuba, so I can't imagine he's going to have to worry too much at the moment. But Pagani trying to close that gap down, but at the moment Raikkonen is certainly looking the quickest out of the chasing pack.
Oh, no.
It's going to go down to Tezza as he's closing up to prototype Steph. Tezza is on the Ultras and Steph is on the soft tyres, so I imagine we will see a move fairly imminent.
I mean, Clark is currently sat down at 12, so all this is for us me a bit gutted right now.
Okay, right, we've got
Clark,
yellows in sector 2. Why do we have yellows in sector 2 and 3? What's happened?
So,
as I can... Oh, Rich, that was very close to the wall. Rich has lost half his front wing and he's only just pitted, so the conditions are getting tricky. The guys need to just be a bit more careful on the brakes, brake a bit earlier. Clarkey, excellent through the S section.
Lost part of his wing again.
Is he?
Yeah.
Clarkey just gliding through the S section like it's not even there. Kisses the apex.
Bender's onto the intermediates.
Always run deep. That's a new line. That's the Clarkey line.
Oh, Sheo.
What's he done?
Oh, he's just binned it.
Right.
He's just purposely binned that.
Yeah, I've just watched that on stream, unfortunately. What happened? Did you see?
Yeah, I was running on board. Coming out of the, well, it started at the final chicane after the bridge. And, basically, obviously, with Tice running the...
Okay, it appears Dale has disappeared.
Damn here.
Right.
My mic out. Basically, as he's gone round the, out of the chicane section, he's tapped the back of Demon's car. And obviously with Demon running brake assist, you know, he's going to be slower out the corners.
Oh,
and then,
Tezza!
coming out of... Oh, Tezza!
He's clipped the wall, lost all of his wing. Tezza's having a nightmare.
But with the rain though, it might actually be time for... I don't know if it's time.
No, well, we have got a couple of guys on the intermediate tyres, and that is Bendel and Smertens.
Sorry.
Now, keeping an eye on the distances. I don't think it's not quite time yet. It isn't quite time. I always think it's sensible, as stupid as it sounds and obvious as it sounds, to wait for that DRS disabled sign.
No, definitely.
It makes such a difference. Onto the podium, 17.5 seconds clear, and Tice, the lovable character, even after his spin early on at the start, is up into P8, driving like a champion. Right, Tezza has now come into the pits and fitted the intermediate tyres, and Clarkey, let's see what the decision is. He's got the intermediates on. So Clarkey looking for the undercut with his on himself onto the intermediate tyres, and he's going to come out a few seconds behind Tezza. I'd be keen to see how quickly yeah, the track really is starting to get damaged. You can still see the racing line, so it's not completely into weather just yet. It's normally time, it's going to be time soon because his spray's starting to come off the tyres. Yeah. Okay, Raikkonen's just got a 5-second stop go for exceeding track limits. So that could be interesting. Right, onto the podium has come in, so our race leader has fitted the intermediate tyres and has left in P1. Raikkonen has done the same, and I believe Pagani, there we go, perfect timing, look at that, DRS disabled. So all of these guys have got that strategy bang on.
Bang on.
Matt Kors, oh right, he's coming in the pits now as well. I thought he just left the pits with ultra softs on, so it looks like some of these guys have made the right call. So prototype Steph has just got a 3-second time penalty. I'm quite pleased to see we've only had one retirement so far, so obviously
yeah,
we've been better.
I'm in the process of talking to Theo about that.
Yeah, right, Chris Bean has put the wet tyres on.
Really?
So
is that a mistake, or the rain's coming down?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly coming down fairly heavy, but I don't think it's anywhere near wet weather just yet. I mean, you never know. We are expecting heavy rain, but I think it will transition into heavy rain, but I don't think it's going to be that quick. Right, Steph has just left the pits in P9. Smertens has got a fresh wing and he finds himself in P8. Okay, everybody now, when Volcata and Rich leave the pits, will all be on the intermediate tyres apart from Chris Beam. So we should have to wait and see. In terms of battles on track, there isn't too much going on. And Clarkey, oh, Clarkey's gone.
Ah,
Clarkey. I would have urged him to stay in the race, because I imagine now that the wet weather is taking its toll on the race, I imagine there will be points up for grabs, and nobody wants to see that. Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
No. Clarky, think of your supporters.
Okay, so we're on board with our race leader, taking us through. I want to say perfect lap of Singapore, but it's Connor, so it won't be. Hard on the brakes, downshifting one too many, I'd say. Okay, onto the podium now. Pretty flawless performance so far, but I must say, Chris Bean, he's certainly losing a lot of pace on those full wet tyres, so I'd be quite keen to know what his thinking was there. Maybe he was just looking to do it a bit earlier to try and catch people out. Got onto the podium. He's very much treating this as a walk in the park. Yeah, Chris Bean completely on the wrong tyre compound, running in lean, but I know what it's going to do is be putting loads of wear on his tyres. Yeah, Chris Bean losing so much time. Tezza is on. Certainly is.
Unless Connor bottles this now, he's got it in the bag. Chris Bean still is down 9th.
Yeah.
Is he losing time or gaining time?
No, he's losing time. He was in 7th. I must say, Bendel was having a fantastic race. He's in P6. So good on him. Scuba's only 3 seconds behind Pagani, so Scuba is on the prowl.
I've got a feeling Scuba's going to nab this again.
What you reckon Scuba's going to win it?
Oh, Connor's got it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like, it hurts to say it, but he's got it. And I can't wait for him to be gloating in the party after the race. Because it's going to happen.
Exactly.
No, but it's going to be an interesting... You know, from our point of view, steward side and admin side, it's going to be an interesting night, Aaron.
It certainly is. We've got a couple. Scuba is gaining on Pagani, but I must say at this point I'm really gutted for Tezza, because he qualified so well in P4 along with Chris Bean actually in P3, and it just hasn't gone their way tonight. Obviously that collision early on, not too sure whether it was a racing incident or one of them just committed a bit too much coming into turn 3, but never nice to see that. But let's hope they can redeem themselves and get themselves some good points this evening. Matt Cause, yeah, Matt Cause I'm really chuffed for as well in P5. Obviously the guys in front of him, you know, you won't mind me saying this, are, you know, all battling at the top of the championship. We've got the top 4 basically now. Jakey Boy is left all in the top 4, so it makes a lot of sense. But Matt Cause, if he can be best of the rest, then okay, right, we've got Tice now. Tice on the attack.
Tice on the attack.
Tice on the attack.
Wow.
Yeah,
He is coming up against Chris Beam, though, who is on the wet tyres, but Rich T Gaming has now decided that he's having
wets is the way.
the wets.
Oh, it's certainly coming down a hell of a lot heavier, so I think in respect, I still think it's intermediates weather, I've got to be honest, but I don't think it's going to be too long before we start seeing these guys. But I think Chris Bean's going to have to pit again because I think his tyre wear is going to be too high for wet tyres until the end. I think Rich T might have made a fairly good call, but not just yet. Tice has got past Chris, but he's run wide on the final corner. They're going to go side by side down into turn one. Is Tice going to go for the attack? He is. Chris Bean tucks behind, and Tice is back up into the points. So after fitting the wet tyres...
Go on.
So I was just going to say, after fitting the wet tyres in P7, possibly even P6 at the time, Chris Bean has now dropped outside of the points, so he's got some serious work to do until the end of the race. Borkata's coming now. What was you going to say, Dal?
I was going to say, could we see Tice score points the third race in a row?
Yeah. Is it third or is it fourth?
Third or fourth? Look, it's definitely more than two. I know that.
I'll just have a look. I've got the championship standings up. Yeah, it'll be the fourth race in a row.
Wow.
Nice save, nice save.
I had to stop myself there.
Yeah. Don't know what's happened to you tonight. I don't know what has happened to you. Anyway, right. Scuba. 1.8 seconds behind Pagani. Pagani needs these points, so he's not gonna give Scuba an easy time, but Pagani does have a fresh wing, and he's not the easiest person to pass. But I mean, Scuba, as it currently stands, looking at position changes, is up 11 places, so seriously impressive. But Scuba does have no fuel, and Pagani has lots of fuel. Pagani's not in a bad position here, Dale, because Scuba is running in minus fuel, and so is Raikkonen by quite a lot. Pagani's got over 2 laps of fuel still.
Only issue is, you can't run in rich.
Well,
not in wet.
No,
and
can't.
Also running in lean, it does provide you more grip because the engine's not giving you it doesn't give you as much power from the engine.
Certainly does. Right, Borkata has just moved out of the way for Pagani. Will he do the same for Scuba? Yes, he does. Great job. Well done. Nice to see. Yeah, that rain is very heavy now, so I think it's not going to be long. I reckon maybe end of lap 19, lap 20 possibly. We're going to see this transition to full wets, but what this has done is put our Division 2 drivers to the test. Qualifying from dry to wet, and the same with race. Okay, Rich T moving out the way nicely as well for Raikkonen. Raikkonen looks very quick in these intermediate conditions, so props to him for that. He's 4.5 seconds clear of Pagani, with Scuba 1.6.
I was going to say that gap's increased. Or is it down? No, I think it's coming down. I'm not too sure. No, it's definitely coming down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Chris Bean has just got back past Tice, and Tice has lost half of his wing. So it looks like these wet tyres are coming into their own now, but I think Chris Bean might have done that too early. Matt Cause has pitted, so I think Jeff's got his voice over the radio. I'm assuming Matt Cause, yes he is, he's on the wet tyres, no damage to his wing, and he's come out in P8 in front of Tezza, so yeah, Matt's still net P5, and all it's going to be doing now is improving. I think he's made the right call. Just on board with Tezza, looking at the times between him and Matt, and then Matt and prototype Steph. I think we're at the point now where the tyres are probably just even.
The gap from Matt to Steph is coming down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. So the wet tyres look like the way forward. Good to see Steph up in the points as well. Okay, right. Come.
So Raikkonen's in. Raikkonen's into the pits. So
Okay.
Scuba, the little legend he is right now, starting from P16, P15, P16, back of the row, back of the grid, is currently sat in third. And he is hounding down on Pagani.
I think if Scuba comes into the pits at the end of this lap and Pagani doesn't, then Scuba will get him on the jump.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Scuba's got some thinking to do. I'll just take this opportunity as well to say that we have our Division 1 race here in Singapore tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock. And also we have another very special event. I don't know whether any of the opposition guys are watching, but this Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
I was just thinking about this.
Yeah, 7 o'clock this Wednesday, we got challenged by another F1 PS4 league called Race Station, and we are going head to head with them in a 100% race around China, live from 7 PM on YouTube on Wednesday. So if the guys would care to jump into the stream and support us, we've got 10 drivers from FTRL and 10 drivers from Race Station, and we are going head to head. We are going to be replaying them in a race over 50% distance in Belgium on the 23rd of May, and whichever league scores the most points combined over the two races will be crowned the champion. So FTRL will be looking to make a name for themselves in that championship. So come along and support us Wednesday night, everybody. Be much appreciated. You looking forward to that, Dale?
The nerves are high, but some of the races, some of the drivers we have, I'm confident. Especially, we're throwing our quickest guys here, our quickest and most reliable guys.
Well, I wouldn't say all of them. I think we've
balanced it out a little bit.
We certainly have. So I think those guys will be in for a shock when it comes to the 50% in Belgium. Just how much depth we've got to this league. So we should have to wait and see. Right, Pagani is now having to cover from Scuba, and Matt Cors has just taken an fantastic move around the outside of prototype Steph coming into the final sector. Beautiful move. Great job, Matt Cors. Best I've seen him drive, I think, since he's been in FTRL. So great job from him.
This is going to be interesting.
Certainly is. 12 laps to go in Singapore. Probably the longest race of our season, to be honest, especially when it's in the wet weather.
You don't know how much I'm hoping and praying for a dry track tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
Because I can guarantee you I'll bin it within 5 laps.
Mate, I'll do that if it's dry, as my setup is terrible.
I'm going to steal Connor's, to be fair.
Yeah.
It seemed to work quite nice yesterday.
Just publicly announce it, it's all good.
Oh, it's all fine, it's all fine. I'm not going to win or out, you know. If anything, I'll bump into Catamines again. And send him in a half spin.
Yeah. All Tyson's run deep.
Ooh. Matt is closing on Steph.
No, actually what Tyson's done is Tyson's sacrificed his own battle with Rich to allow Panini and Scuba a beautifully clear track, so props to him for doing that. Matt Cors. Oh, sorry, no. Steph got back past Matt Cors. So
Steph got back. Steph's got back past him. There we go. English.
Okay, they're going to go side by side. Matt Cors, better traction. Yeah, he's...
Connor's into the pits. He's in the pits. He's intermediate.
Connor's back into the pits and gone to intermediates.
Yeah. However, the rain does look like it's easing up.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so maybe this battle between Scuba and Pagani could be for position.
This is going to be interesting.
It certainly is.
Because Scuba is now back into the positive.
Okay, well,
His
Bendel's
fuel
up
is
into
positive,
5th. Yeah, Bendel's up into 5th place. It's an excellent performance from him. Never know, it might convince him to take up that seat. We'll have to wait and see. I will be pestering him after the race.
Oh, most certainly.
Okay, but Scuba on the charge. Pagani, our current race leader. Clark is in the chats calling himself a bottle job. I mean, I don't want to say it, mate, but yes, you are. No, I'm only joking, mate.
You bottled it more than a. You bottled it more than a.
Don't. I don't want you to embarrass yourself, Dale.
It's been a long day, okay?
It has.
Oh, look at Lennon. Lennon's throwing a bit of shade towards Connor right now.
Connor's bottled it. Oh, Scuba's very close to Pagani. Oh, Pagani's straight line speed is impressive. Scuba's running in rich down there as well. And Pagani is he in lean or has he just changed to lean? Because if he's running in lean down that straight, that's some seriously impressive straight line speed. Smertens in P6. Pagani. Yeah. Smertens in P6 just picked up a penalty.
He's in rich still. Especially on this straight.
Oh yeah. I only saw him in lean, so I don't know whether
he's down into lean again from the corners.
Right. Scuba's running in rich. Oh, Scuba's close. There's a Renault up the road. Oh, Scuba, switch back. Pagani's got the inside line. Scuba, they're going side by side.
Scuba's got it.
Has he got it? Has he got it? Yes, he has.
He's got it.
Beautiful move. So starting from last, Scuba is up into the lead. Matt Cause has picked up a 3-second time penalty, but he just needs to keep his head. Doesn't need to do anything silly. He's in a good point scoring position. Smertens is into the pits. That rain is easing off, so the intermediate tyres will be going back on now. Chris Bean, I think it was more of a case of what could have been for him this evening.
He's guaranteed points, bro. He's the 45-second gap back to Rich. So
yeah, absolutely. I think he'll have a strong end to the season, Chris Bean, and I think next season was where he'll have one eye at the moment. He joined halfway through this one, so we know he's got a good pace. So Rich needs to make sure. God, that was close. Yeah, Scuba his pace is frightening. It really, really is frightening. With the greatest respect to some of the other guys in the field, it's one thing getting past the guys who qualified down towards the bottom of the order, but to then get up and get past the likes of Pagani, Raikkonen, Matt Cause and people like that, I mean...
To say he's on the pad as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
I am a little bit concerned for Connor as it currently stands, because he's 8.5 seconds, well, nearly 9 seconds off of Scuba. And I don't think Scuba and Pagani are going to pit again. Yes, Connor's got fresher tyres on, but has he bottled this?
I hate to say it, but...
What do we reckon, guys, in the stream chat? Has Connor bottled it? Unlucky for Borgata tonight as well. He was driving so well at the start, good qualifying in P5. It's a shame to see him go, but he's shown good pace so far, so I think it's only a matter of time before he gets in good point scoring positions. I think 1R next season as well for him.
Oh, definitely. Well, that is the point. It's obviously we're coming to the business end of the season now, so obviously we will announce close to the time what will be happening. But seeing these rookies and reserves, rookies, whatever you want to call them, that we've had over the previous 9 races.
Yep.
It does show a broad horizon of who might take a Division 2 seat, or if we decide to make other ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It is quite a nice. I'm trying to think of a word. Spectrum.
Yeah, I agree.
Of drivers that we've got.
Certainly is. I mean, they're not. Go on.
I was only going to mention about tyres. Like everyone's back onto the intermediate, so the weather is definitely easing back up. Connor is now starting to put the pedal down a little bit. He's just over 7.5 seconds behind. If you can show the same pace as he showed last in our practice race the other night and what he's had before, but we know he has, he could catch up with maybe 4 laps to go.
Well, all I'm going to say is he's cutting it fine because that gap isn't coming down quickly. He's making time up through certain parts of the lap, but other than that, it's fairly equal. And Scuba, I mean, he's not gaining on Scuba at all. So
Scuba's pulling away.
Yeah, Scuba's 1.2 seconds clear of Pagani. I mean, if Scuba wins this race, then wow, is all I will say to that. Because some of the guys on this grid, well, all of them, none of them are any sort of slouches. Nobody here is astronomically slow. So, I mean, that's going to be seriously impressive. But onto the podium, he has now. He's closed about half a second on him in that final sector, so he's going to need to always cut the corner.
He's gone wide. Oh. Backed off massively as well, just to ensure that he doesn't get a time penalty.
Yeah. So all of that hard work he's just put in, he's just lost it. So onto the podium.
Really
has he bottled it? Has he bottled it?
I know for a fact he'll be swearing at himself after that.
Oh, he will.
It's podium. If it's not like what he can be, then yeah, this could be a lot of swearing involved in his side of the chat.
Exactly, we should have to wait and see. But I mean, just touching on your point earlier on, just having a little skip through the field and everybody have some airtime. But I mean, the nice thing about FTRL is the fact of, we've only been running for just over half a year. We've got 2 divisions now. This is our first season with 2 divisions, and although we've had to do some reshuffling over the course of it, as we kind of expected, everything looks settled in place now, so everyone knows what's going on. We've got a nice mix of drivers. We've got plenty of drivers in Division 2 that are very, very new to league racing. I'm sure they won't mind me mentioning it, but people like Rich, Clarkey, Borgata, Tice, they've not league raced before, so all they're going to do is gaining experience and taking it into the new season when everyone is on a level playing field. So the variation of pace is good in my opinion. It shows, it gives everybody a platform to work towards, and that Division 1 next season looks frightening. That's all I will say. Until the announcements have been made, Division 1 looks frightening. Anybody could win it, anybody could go down. It is that close.
It will certainly. There is quite a few. I think we all have a few ideas floating around that we do need to sit and have a talk about.
We
But,
certainly do.
I mean, I may possibly bring some ideas up after tonight's race.
Yeah, yeah.
But there is, it's plain and simple, Division 1 next season is going to be unmissable. You do not want to miss it.
No.
I know we're talking in about a month's time, maybe a month and a half time, but you're not going to want to miss it.
No.
It'll be like the 2010 season all over again. Anybody could win.
We've got Lennon in the stream chat saying he's going to win Division 1 this year, so we can only wish him luck. He's got a chance.
Luck, buddy.
I would love to say something sarcastic. I really, really would. Just to put him down some, but I mean, he's got a chance.
Stay away from me, Lennon. I take the highest bid.
Okay, right, Connor, he's closing that gap down again.
It is, it's coming down. It's just teetering over 6 seconds, but there's six laps to go. He's not going to be able to pull a second a lap.
Well, he's doing it at the moment, I've got to be honest. But has he... I mean, what you've also got to remember is the fact if Scuba and Pagani's tyres are going to be right at the end of their life come the end of the race. We're probably starting from now. So, I mean, anything can happen, but Connor has got to have the race of his life now. And he's got to hope and pray for just a slight wobble from Scuba and from Pagani. Always.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but come on, Connor, you've got this, mate. You can do this.
I wouldn't give him the satisfaction of doing it. But, oh, I must say,
yeah,
actually...
I know, but... Go on.
Just an amazing recovery from Tezza. He's back up into P5 after all of the problems that he's had.
I'm running on board with him now.
Yeah.
He has got Sai lurking in the background, though.
And what's happened to Matt Cors? Down into 8th place. So gutted for him.
I think it would have been best sticking out on the intermediates.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't to know. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's been, you know, maybe apart from strategy calls, which it looks like Scuba and Pagani have got right. You know, Matt has driven brilliantly today, so whatever way deserves credit.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
to start second in Division 2 is not an easy thing to do. I know conditions were tough, but he thoroughly deserves some good points this evening. Any points is good points in my eyes.
No, definitely.
Connor down to
Without a doubt.
4.5 seconds now, so that's come down.
That's came down nearly a second and a half in one lap.
The thing is, as well, he's going to be catching glimpses of Pagani,
which is just going to drive him even more.
Exactly. So, at the end of lap 26, Smertens is only 3 seconds off Tezza.
I've noticed that Sai is looking he's lurking in the background. I cannot get my words out to save my life tonight. The lack of sleep. But it's quieting down. But the fact that Podium, Connor, Mr. Ignorant, whatever you want to call him, he could give someone he could pull something out of the bag here.
He certainly could. I think he has a chance of getting Pagani, but I think Scuba is going to be a bit too much of a stretch for him.
Yeah.
What you've also got to remember is the kind of friendly rivalry between Pagani and Onto the Podium. Neither of them will want to lose to the other one. So I think Pagani will not make it easy for him, but I imagine with maybe by the end of the next lap, maybe midway through lap 29, Connor will be right on the back of Pagani.
It's a bit of a love-hate relationship really between them.
Yeah.
They love to race, but they hate being anywhere near each other.
Yeah. All in good faith, all in good faith. Right, we have a yellow in sector 3. Who was that?
I don't know actually.
Not too sure as it stands. The Matt Cause is losing time to Steph as well now, so he could drop down to P9.
Connor's only 2.5 seconds behind Pagani.
Yeah, that time between Smertens and Tezza has come down as well quite a lot. So this is DRS has been enabled. Okay, right.
The track is dry enough.
Oh, okay. So who braves it? Who braves it? Is anybody going to brave
wrong
it?
time to leave a session, mate. Wrong time to leave a session.
Yeah. So the next car to come around the final corner is Raikkonen. Is he going to brave it? Yeah, that track's really dry. Do it. Do it.
That's going dry.
Do it. Yes, Raikkonen. Okay. Oh, okay.
Get in. Strap a set of ultrasofts on. Get out.
Oh. Now, what are these guys going to do? That time's going to come down. I think it might be a bit too much for Raikkonen, but I mean, you never know. There's still basically it's 4 laps for him now. I mean, I know he's got to catch up a minute, but these guys, especially for the windy parts of Singapore, they are going to lose so much time, as Connor's demonstrating here, as is Pagani. Okay, looks like we've got a very interesting end to the race.
Sai and Tether are both into the pits.
Okay, Lennon thinks Pagani will pit, but he thinks that Connor will stay out. I mean, Connor has done this before and he's stayed out, and he spun on the second to last corner and cost himself a podium, I believe. But he's right on the back of Pagani. He's right on the back of Pagani.
Pagani's struggling here. He's sliding all over it. It looks more like a drift car than it does an F1 car right now.
What's happened to Bendel? Oh, Bendel's car. I put wets on his car. No way.
Oh no.
Oh, Bendel. How unlucky is that?
Right. Scuba, Pagani and Connor are all into the pit.
Oh,
Chaps, this is going to be interesting.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think this is Scuba's. I think the race win is Scuba's, I've got to be honest. Connor's made the jump on Pagani in the pits.
He's jumped him. Oh my days. Is Connor there? Connor might actually catch Scuba.
I don't know about that. That's going to be an ask. It really is going to be an ask. But we have a race on our hands.
This is going to be interesting.
3 laps to go. This is a straight shootout now.
Pagani has 2.5 laps of fuel. Connor's only got a half a lap. And Scuba's just put him a floor down. He's got half a lap. He's in rich. He's going to want to build up that gap.
Yeah. Okay, well, Chris Bean will be promoted to 9th place because I imagine Bendel will come into the pits and put on ultrasofts. But I think he won't be anything lower than that. But come the end of the race, Matt Cause is up into 7th, but Steph's within DRS range. You've got Smertens 1.6 seconds behind Tezza as well. But all eyes are on this battle at the front. In my opinion, this is Scuba's race. This could get very, very spicy. Prototype Steph on the attack. I just picked up a penalty. Oh, that could cost him massively. Chris Bean has jumped Bendel. Bendel just having to come back into the pits again. What a nightmare for him. He'd driven so well. Okay, well, Connor's actually reduced the gap to Scuba.
Ah, Bendel's retired.
Such a shame. Such a shame to see Bendel retire. He was doing so well. Oh, Pagani's very, very close.
He's a lot more fuel to burn as well. Connor's going defensive.
DRS is open. Connor shuts the door. Pagani's forced wide. Pagani's going to lunge. Pagani's through.
Is he through?
Pagani is through. Connor is down into P3. I'm not too sure what these guys have got in terms of penalties, but I don't really want to see it either. Rich T's going to be.
I don't want to know either. I know I can check, but I don't want to know.
Rich is going to be promoted into P10. And he's just picked up a penalty for his troubles as well. Connor very close. This is going to be a scrap.
That was the exact same corner where Pagani made the move on Connor. It's the exact same corner that me and Connor came to close at.
The thing is as well, this is
really not having any luck with that corner.
Okay, Smertens has just got past Tezza, but Tezza's having another look up the inside of him. Oh, great move. Oh, Smertens has got him.
Connor's got a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, Connor's just picked up a penalty on the start, right at the end of the penultimate lap. Scuba sets the fastest lap. It's Scuba's race win, in my opinion, unless something drastic happens. But Connor's just got a hope Pagani's. Yeah.
Baku all over again.
Whoa, Scuba nearly lost it. Okay, we've got a couple of very interesting battles.
Connor has to get past Pagani. He's too far back.
He is. He's going to have to. Well, I don't even think he's going to make a lunge. Pagani just looks quicker. Pagani's kissed the curb a bit too much.
Is Connor having to save fuel to make it round the track?
No, he's still got half a lap.
Ted's got a 3-second time penalty. And same with Pagani.
Oh, Connor's nearly bottled it. He nearly hit the wall. That was so close.
Pagani's just got a time penalty.
Has he?
Yes.
Oh, this is anyone's. I don't think Scuba's got anything, to be honest. So I think it's Scuba's win. But has Pagani got any more penalties? Has Connor got any more penalties? We'll have to wait and see. But it is this man Scuba who's going to come round to from last to first in a league race. What a performance! What a champion! Amazing job from Scuba. Crosses the line to take the win. Pagani is going to come home in second. Connor's going to come home in third. Connor's got him. Penalty.
No, Connor's got him.
Connor's got him.
Penalties.
If Pagani didn't get that on the final lap, that wouldn't have happened.
That is phenomenal.
It certainly is. Raikkonen comes home in fourth. Another fantastic performance from him. Steph's just got another 3-second penalty, so I think Matt Kors has secured himself seventh, which won't be the worst result in the world. Smertens is going to come home in fifth place, dependent on penalties. I know he's got one, possibly two. But Smertens is going to come home across the line in P5. Not too sure whether he's going to keep it or not, or whether Tezza is going to get him on penalties. Tezza's run wide on the final corner. Tezza, has he got him? No, he hasn't. Matt Kors in the hassle. He rides up the curb. He's pushing hard. He's weaving. Oh, he's hit the wall. Oh. Matt comes home in seventh. Yeah, Steph, plenty of penalties, comes home in 8th place. Chris Bean, he's going to come home in 9th. Okay, Chris Bean comes home in 9th. Rich is in 10th. And Tice comes home in P11.
The streak is over.
The streak is over. Unfortunately so, but as far as I'm concerned, that is It's a bottle. It's either brilliance from Scuba, or it's a complete bottle from Connor.
It's a complete and utter bottle.
Yeah. Anyway, Scuba.
I've got nothing against you, Connor. I really haven't. I've got nothing against you.
Anyway, Scuba takes the race win, no penalty, starts last and finishes first. I mean, dominance from a champion there. Onto the podium, comes home in second place after starting pole. To be honest with you, it's still a brilliant performance from him.
No, it's absolutely stellar.
Brings him within 5 points of Pagani now in the battle for second place in the championship. So I imagine that more of these battles will happen. Raikkonen comes home in fourth to extend his gap in the promotional spots. Mertens comes home in fifth, good performance from him. Tezza had a bit of an up and down race, but still comes home in sixth. Matt Core starts second, finishes in seventh. Steph is in eighth, Chris Bean in ninth, and Rich T rounds off the final points. And Tice comes home in 11th. And we had retirements from the very unfortunate Bendel, who drove a fantastic race. Borkata, we had Clarkey and Shea, all DNFs unfortunately. But driver of the day, I don't think we can look past Scuba, can we?
No doubt about it.
No, exactly. Scuba picks up driver of the day, picks up the race win, and just asserts his dominance. But we have the Division 1 race tomorrow evening in Singapore, and if it finishes as closely as tonight's one, then it certainly will be one to watch. There's a lot to play for in Division 1. There's still plenty of guys that can still win the championship, so come and join us tomorrow, and join us on Wednesday for the race station race, live from 7 PM. But thank you very much for joining me tonight, Dale.
It's a pleasure as always.
And we will see you next week, guys. Thank you very much.